Oh, it finally happened. King Harris just crossed the line so hard he might need GPS to find his way back. The internet is on fire. The group chats are exploding. And Boosie Badass just dropped something so messy, it makes every episode of BMF look like Barney and Friends. We're talking about a recording, yeah. A full-blown snitch tape. That's got the rap world clutching their microphones. Now this ain't your average leak. This is scandal seasoned, marinated and deep-fried in betrayal. The streets are whispering, the blogs are screaming, and fans are saying, ain't no way Boosie just did that. Oh, but he did. And the clip he posted? It's the kind of audio that can end careers, wreck friendships, and have T.I. calling family meetings like he's the CEO of Damage Control Inc. And the craziest part? King Harris, the same dude who said he's cut from a different cloth, just got caught in the messiest web since Blueface's love life. This isn't just drama, it's a full-blown hip-hop horror movie. So buckle up, because this Snitch scandal might be the moment the Harris legacy takes a turn nobody saw coming. Welcome to the chaos. This one's about to get ugly. Let's rewind the circus before it turns into a full-blown courtroom episode. Because before the Snitch tape went viral, before the hashtags started trending, before Boosie threw gasoline on the internet, this story was simmering like a pot of gumbo made of ego. Pride and poor decision-making. King Harris, son of rap legend T.I. and reality queen Tiny Harris, has always been the kid with something to prove. Born into luxury but trying hard to prove he's street, King has made more headlines for his antics than his achievements. Every few months, he pops up online, arguing in Waffle Houses, flexing jewelry, or clapping back at trolls to remind him his daddy's the real king. But this time? Oh, this time he outdid himself. It started with whispers that King had been caught talking a little too freely during a private studio session, a session that, according to certain sources, had more microphones than the Grammys. Someone somewhere recorded a snippet of King allegedly saying things that sounded, well, self-incriminating. It wasn't just bragging. It was bragging with coordinates. And then, out of nowhere, Boosie Badass, Louisiana's official minister of mayhem, jumped online like a human fire alarm. Out came a clip, uploaded with zero warning, no caption, no explanation. Just a voice muffled but recognizable, talking about handling business and telling my side before they twist it. Fans didn't need context, they just heard the tone. The name drop and the implication. Boom. The internet exploded, within minutes. The clip was reposted across every platform known to humankind. Twitter threads, Instagram blogs, TikTok conspiracies, you name it. Everyone was dissecting every syllable. Some swore it was AI. Others said Boosie wouldn't risk posting something fake, not when it could start a real street war. Memes flooded timelines. One even showed King Harris photoshopped on a First 48 poster with the caption, King Harris, season finale. Meanwhile, Boosie just sat back, laughing on Instagram Live, saying, man, the truth gon' come out. Dog. Translation, he knew exactly what he was doing. Now, here's where it gets crazy. King's camp tried to go full denial mode, claiming the recording was doctored. But the problem is the internet doesn't care about facts. It cares about vibes. And the vibe was scandal. The snitch word started trending before sunrise. People began dragging old clips from King's interviews, where he'd said things like, I don't play police games and I'm solid. Bro, suddenly those words aged like milk in the sun. Screenshots of T.I.'s famous Crime Stoppers PSA resurfaced, fans putting father and son side by side, captioning it like father, like informant? The jokes wrote themselves, but it wasn't just trolling. Some serious voices in the hip-hop scene started asking questions. Boosie's past with T.I'd already been rocky. Remember when he blasted Tip for telling on a dead cousin? That feud had cooled off, but this recording? It reignited everything. Boosie went from quiet to petty preacher overnight. He told fans, y'all said I was lying about these folks. Now look. And while he didn't name names, his followers did the work for him. In less than a day, hashtag King Harris Snitch Tape had over 1 million views. Meanwhile, King tried to laugh it off on social media. He posted a story saying, you'll believe anything you'll hear. I'm chilling, bro. But chilling? Nah, his entire reputation was melting faster than an ice cube in Baton Rouge. The next morning, paparazzi spotted T.I. looking furious. Nah, I lost my keys mad. I mean, how did my son just drag the family name through federal hashtags? Mad. Sources close to him said the household went into lockdown. Calls were made. PR teams were summoned. One insider even claimed Tit told his son, "You better fix this before Boosie drops a part 2. Meanwhile, Boosie was living his best chaotic life. He doubled down on Instagram saying, "Y'all think I'm capping? Keep watching." That's all he had to say. The man basically threatened another drop like he was teasing an album. And you know how the internet works, the second someone says part 2, fans lose their collective minds. Reddit threads popped up analyzing background noise in the first clip. Some said you could hear Boosie laughing in the distance. Others claimed the echo proved it was recorded in the same room King had been in weeks earlier. It was like watching TikTok CSI, Baton Rouge edition. Meanwhile, Boosie's fans started clowning T.I. hard. They flooded his old posts with comments like, "Get your son off the mic before the D gets involved, and this the sequel nobody asked for." Even King's own peers in the rap game were joking. A few up-and-coming rappers dropped freestyles titled "Tellin' Ain't King" just to ride the algorithm. But under all the memes and mockery, there was something deeper brewing. This wasn't just a petty online beef, this was a generational clash between legacy and loyalty. King Harris was born into a world where street credibility equals social currency. Boosie came from the old school where snitching was a death sentence and reputation. To him, even the idea of being soft, talkative, or disloyal was worse than losing money. So when Boosie dropped that clip, it wasn't just a diss, it was a public trial. And King Harris was the defendant, tried by memes, sentenced by retweets, and here's where it gets wild, because this recording wasn't just a casual leak. Rumors began spreading that Boosie had been sitting on it for weeks, waiting for the right moment to drop it. Some claimed he'd gotten the audio from a mutual associate after. King mouthed off about real gangsters not respecting old heads. Whether true or not, it sounded believable enough for fans to bite. Every time Boosie hinted at new information, his comment section exploded like a fireworks show. Drop the rest. Expose him fully. We ready for volume 2. Boosie leaned into it with that sly grin, sipping from a cup like a villain who already knew how the episode ends. Meanwhile, King started getting real quiet online. No posts, no stories, no appearances, which of course made things worse. People took his silence as guilt. Even industry folks who used to defend him started saying things like, "Man, this new generation talk too much." But the cherry on top? Boosie went live one night and said, "Ain't nobody safe no more. Y'all record everything, now deal with it." And just like that, the internet crowned him the king of petty exposes. By the end of the week, the situation had evolved from alleged recording to rap industry Cold War. Boosie versus T.I. Old school versus new school, father versus son's mess. Every gossip outlet had their own version of the story. Some said Boosie planned to release more clips. Others claimed lawyers were already involved. And in the middle of it all, poor King Harris, the internet's newest meme lord, was learning a painful lesson. When you grow up in the public eye, one slip-up can go from private mistake to permanent scandal overnight. The Snitch tape wasn't just a leak. It was a grenade tossed into the middle of hip-hop's most unpredictable family feud. And everyone knew the explosion was only getting started. Just when you thought this story couldn't spiral any wilder, Boosie went and turned the chaos up to 11. The man didn't just drop a bomb, he detonated an entire reputation. Because 48 hours after that first Snitch recording shook the internet, Boosie teased something that sent the hip-hop world into cardiac arrest. Y'all thought that was the only clip? Boom, cue panic. Social media erupted like the 4th of July. Twitter turned into an open courtroom. Instagram turned into a crime scene. And TikTok was stitching Boosie's live like it was breaking news from CNN. Boosie didn't confirm if there was another recording, but the thread alone had people losing their minds. Fans started counting down like it was New Year's Eve, waiting for part 2 to drop. And poor King Harris? The kid was trapped in a digital hurricane. Everyone, and I mean everyone, had something to say. Rappers, podcasters, aunties with burner accounts, even pastors pretending to pray for him. Hip-hop elders started tweeting cryptic messages like, "The game ain't what it used to be." Loyalty dying fast. The shade was subtle, but the message was clear. King was officially on the industry's naughty list. Then came the avalanche of memes. King's face photoshopped next to Tekashi 6ix9ine with the caption, "New roommate." Another edit showed T.I. hosting a family meeting in an interrogation room. Boosie in the corner holding the playback button. The internet was having the time of its life, but the jokes started turning serious when an old video resurfaced, Boosie and T.I. once discussing snitching during an interview, both swearing they never tolerate it in their circle. Fans replayed that clip like it was prophecy. One line from Boosie echoed everywhere, "If you tell, I'm done with you." And suddenly, that statement wasn't just about T.I. anymore, it was about his son, now. Remember, Boosie and T.I. had a brother-like bond back in the day. They performed together, defended each other, and even toyed with the idea of doing a joint album. But that all went out the window when T.I. admitted to cooperating with police years ago over a dead cousin situation, a story Boosie labeled rat behavior. They patched it up barely after public fallout. But now Boosie was coming for the heir to the throne. Fans called it revenge served viral. Then, boom, a new leak hit the timeline. It wasn't even confirmed if it came from Boosie, but it sounded close enough. Another muffled clip, another questionable voice, another "yo, that's King" moment. It was short, chaotic, and grainy, but that didn't stop the internet from making it trend. Within an hour, blogs titled it "Boosie's second tape drops, King Harris finished." Of course, King's camp fired back. His cousin went live, cussing everyone out and calling the recordings fake news built by haters who can't get a feature. But let's be honest, trying to fight a meme storm is like trying to put out a wildfire with a water bottle. The crowd was already laughing too hard. BOOS, i.e. fan the flames even more. Posting on Instagram, "I don't expose people. I expose truth. I expose truth." With that caption alone, he turned the situation from gossip to gospel. Every blogger posted it with the same headline, "Boosie ain't done yet." Meanwhile, T.I. was reportedly furious. Sources close to his camp said he told Boosie to "keep my family out your mouth before this turns ugly." But Boosie's response? A smirk on live and a simple, "It's already ugly, partner." Fans started calling it the Southern Civil War of hip-hop. Old school versus new school, OG loyalty versus Gen Z ego. The tension felt biblical, two rap dynasties crumbling in real time, and while the grown men were beefing, King Harris decided to do what Gen Z does best, go live. The stream started calm, but within minutes, King snapped. He called out fake gangsters, told fans he didn't owe anyone loyalty, and dropped a line that set off 1,000 think pieces. "I said what I said, but I ain't no rat. I just keep it real, y'all twist everything." That clip alone went viral. Boosie reposted it with a laughing emoji and the caption, "Real ones don't need to explain." The internet lost its mind again. Podcasts started running emergency episodes. YouTubers milked 10 videos each. One commentator said, "King's trying to prove he's from the trenches. But the trenches don't do interviews." Another added, "He inherited money, not morals." The insults were merciless. Even celebrity kids weighed in. One rapper's son wrote, "We all grew up watching our dads be legends. Some of us learned. Some of us folded." Fans decoded every post, every sub, every lyric like they were FBI analysts. Meanwhile, the meme economy hit record highs. One TikTok edit showed T.I. banging on King's door yelling, "Who you talking to?" while Boosie's audio played in the background. Another used the Cops theme song over clips of King dancing on live. If clout was currency, King was a billionaire in embarrassment. But beneath all the laughter, there was a deeper conversation forming, one about legacy and loyalty. Boosie wasn't just calling out King. He was making a statement about a generation raised on clout instead of code. Older rappers chimed in with takes like, "The new kids talk too much for views. We used to keep quiet and move smart." And they weren't wrong. The internet era changed the rules. Where Boosie and T.I. came from, snitching was the ultimate betrayal. In King's world, talking reckless is part of the brand. So while Boosie saw disrespect, King saw content. And that's why this whole feud hit harder than it should have. It wasn't just about a clip. It was about what the culture's become. By the end of the week, fans were picking sides. Team Boosie called him the last real one left. Team King claimed Boosie was using a teenager for clout. Hashtags clashed like armies. Hashtag free king versus. Hashtag BOOSIE got receipts. Meanwhile, T.I. tried to calm the storm, posting a photo of himself and King at dinner captioned, "Blood thicker than gossip. Sweet, right?" Wrong. Boosie reposted it with, "But loyalty thicker than blood." And that line? That was the grenade. It cemented the war. No peace treaty, no collab album, no brotherly misunderstanding. This was personal now. Boosie went live again ranting, "Y'all protectin' rats. I'm protectin' the code. I ain't scared of no fame, no family, no false narrative. Facts is facts." Every word felt like a jab aimed directly at the Harris household. Meanwhile, King went ghost again. No posts, no stories, just silence. The blogs filled the gap for him, spinning theories about whether the second tape was real, if lawsuits were coming, or if the feds were actually involved. The truth? Nobody knew. Nobody cared. The scandal had already turned into a digital soap opera, and everyone was tuned in because this wasn't just King Harris versus Boosie Baddiss anymore. It was legacy versus loyalty, old code versus new culture, and most of all, truth versus entertainment. And in 2025, we all know which one wins. Spoiler, it's the one with the most views. By the time week 3 hit, this whole Boosie King Harris scandal had evolved from petty rap beef to full-blown reality TV without the contract. It wasn't even about who was right or wrong anymore. It was about who could make the loudest noise. The internet had turned this feud into an Olympic sport. Memes, edits, fake leaks, AI-generated apology calls, you name it. One fan even made a mock Netflix trailer titled, "The Informant Prince: The Fall of King Harris." The thumbnail had Boosie in a detective hat and T.I. with his head in his hands. It got 500,000 views before breakfast, but the tension wasn't just digital, it had started to leak into real life. Reports claimed Boosie's camp and T.I.'s people had words backstage at an Atlanta event. Some sources even said they nearly came to blows before security stepped in. Of course, neither side confirmed it, but everyone believed it because at this point, truth didn't matter. Drama did. And then came the bombshell nobody saw coming. T.I. broke his silence. The king of the South himself took to Instagram Live, calm but clearly boiling beneath the surface. He didn't yell, didn't curse, but his tone carried that "I'm too grown for this, but still dangerous" energy. He said, "Y'all can keep playing on this internet, but when it come to my son, we gon' handle that man to man. Boosie my brother, but some things you don't do. Posting a child? Nah, that's a line you don't cross." Boom, the chat exploded. Half the comments said, "Finally." The other half said, "He just made it worse." Because Boosie was watching. And in pure Boosie fashion, he didn't even wait a day. He went live immediately after and fired back like a southern preacher with Wi-Fi. "Man, don't call me no brother if your son out here talking reckless. Ain't no kid when you grown enough to talk like a gangster. Grown talk gets grown response." That line right there became the internet's new favorite quote. Memes, soundbites, TikToks, Boosie had turned moral outrage into merch. Someone even dropped hoodies that read "Grown Talk, Grown Response." Sold out in 2 days. Meanwhile, King Harris, caught between his father's pride and Boosie's pettiness, tried to pull a redemption move. Out of nowhere, he posted a clip in the studio, rapping about fake OGs who hate on the youth and the internet making monsters. The track wasn't even mixed, but fans called it his response record. Others just called it damage control disguised as a freestyle. Still, the lyrics hit. He said, "They say I told, but I just spoke truth. Ain't no loyalty when you lie in the booth." Translation: he wasn't snitching. He was telling his side. Which, of course, only made things worse. Boosie reposted it with the caption, "He still don't get it." From there, the situation snowballed into something way bigger than both of them. The internet turned the story into a culture debate. Podcasters started asking, is street code even relevant anymore? Commentators said, "Y'all mad at a kid for talking while grown men record each other daily?" Think pieces were dropping faster than mixtapes, dissecting every angle: race, fame, fatherhood, the curse of clout. Even academics started chiming in like they were on CNN. And guess what? Every single time someone mentioned King Harris, the views skyrocketed. It was like watching a scandal stock price. The worse it got, the higher it climbed. By this point, King had gone from rapper's son to walking headline. He was either being ridiculed or pitied, depending on which side you asked. Some fans said Boosie went too far by exposing him publicly. Others said Boosie was teaching him a lesson the streets would have taught harsher. Either way, both men were trending every day and for all the wrong reasons. Then, in a plot twist that no one saw coming, Boosie appeared on The Breakfast Club. You could feel the tension through the screen. Charlamagne asked the question everyone wanted answered. So, Boosie, why drop that clip? Boosie leaned forward and said, I ain't trying to hurt nobody, but if you talk big, you better walk big. These kids forget who paved the road. I'm just reminding him. Translation? He meant every word of it. When asked if he talked to T.I. again, Boosie laughed. Talk for what? The truth don't need no conference call. T.I. didn't respond directly, but the next day he dropped a new verse on Instagram. It was slick, sharp, and clearly aimed at Boosie. You bark loud for attention, I build empires in silence. Boom, the comments went insane. Everyone was quoting it. The Shade Room reposted it. The Southern Civil War had officially turned lyrical. And yet, in all the chaos, one thing started becoming clear. King Harris had become collateral damage in a generational ego war. Boosie's old-school code versus T.I.'s modern mogul mentality, and King was the lightning rod for both. As weeks passed, the hype began cooling. But the damage lingered. The phrase King snitched became internet folklore, a punchline that would follow him forever whether it was true or not. Brands quietly distanced. Collaborations went silent. People stopped inviting him to certain events. The industry didn't cancel him officially, it just ghosted him quietly, the same way it always does when controversy smells too fresh. Still, King Harris did what he does best, stayed loud. He posted, y'all can talk all day, I'm still me. I'm still royal. And to be fair, the kid didn't fold. He kept performing, kept recording, kept going live, but you could tell the fire had changed him. The laughs were shorter, the shade sharper, the bravado slightly cracked, and Boosie? Oh, he moved on like nothing happened. That's his superpower. The man wakes up to controversy like it's coffee. A week later, he was promoting his next film, smiling like he didn't just create the year's biggest rap scandal, but deep down, the industry knew this wasn't over. Because if Boosie had more recordings, as he teased, there might still be another storm waiting to drop, and let's be honest, this entire saga was never really about the tape. It was about what the tape represented. In the world of hip-hop, image is currency. Credibility is survival. And for a kid like King Harris, born into fame but desperate for respect, that's a dangerous combination. The Snitch tape might fade from headlines, but the whispers? They'll never go away. Every time King drops a track, the comments will remind him. Every time Boosie posts a motivational quote, someone will bring it up. It's the internet's favorite sport, permanent drama. And as the dust finally settles, one thing's crystal clear: this wasn't a scandal. It was a turning point. The end of an era where street code ruled everything and the rise of a generation, where clout is the new currency. Because in 2025, it doesn't matter who's real. It only matters who's trending. And whether you hate him, love him, or can't scroll past him, King Harris is trending. But the real question is, for how long? And there you have it, the royal meltdown nobody saw coming. King Harris tried to walk in his father's shoes, but tripped straight into Boosie's recording booth. What started as a leak turned into the internet's biggest soap opera, a mix of betrayal. Street code and southern drama so spicy it could season an entire Waffle House menu, but now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think Boosie went too far by dropping that Snitch tape, or was he just doing what real ones do, exposing the fake before they go viral? Was King just running his mouth, or did he really break the code his father spent decades trying to teach? Drop your thoughts down below because I need to hear where y'all stand on this one. Team Boosie, Team King, or Team this whole thing belongs on Zeus Network? And while you're here, smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're shutting down the studio. And ring that notification bell so hard the neighbors think you're beefing too. Because on this channel, we don't just report drama, we dissect it, exaggerate it, and serve it hotter than the comments section itself. From FBI leaks to Snitch tapes to whatever wild headline drops next, We've got every scandal, every side-eye, and every secret Hollywood wishes would stay buried. So keep your popcorn close, your phone charged, and your receipts saved. Because tomorrow's chaos? It's already uploading. You're watching Trend Tattle, where celebrity secrets don't just break, they explode. Stay tuned, stay messy, and remember, in this game, the truth doesn't set you free. It gets you trending. It gets you trending.